I believe every time this on
big
Saturday up this big, is it, Bernie?
It's big on Saturday.
Nuff of the week. Let's have a listen.
No.
I told you, homeboy.
I won Nuff of the Year. How do I win that?
You're unbelievable.
It's
That's how we living, and you know.
Inks, Triple M Rocks footy, cricket footy, cricket footy.
enough nut.
Could have given it a bit.
That's what you call a nuff nut.
Break it down.
Gets longer and longer each week, that, doesn't it? I think my favourite out of that is Stevie J's laugh. He needs to work on that. Sounds like I saw a turtle mating once, Bill, of all things, and it
Where
sounds
did you
like
see that, Bernie?
Oh, on YouTube or some video clip.
In Bruce's house, was it?
In with the yabbies.
They all sit around watch turtles mating.
Yeah, well, that's what we do over here. Not too much else to do.
And blow up radio stations.
Yeah, well, press buttons. I just thought if I kept pressing, I'll eventually get the right one, that's not the way to go about it, apparently. Hey, you're meant to stay out of this segment. Now, there's not too often where you request to get into it. And I want to ask you, Bill, have you heard of Tom Atkinson?
Tommy Atkins?
Yeah, no, Atkinson.
Oh, the wicketkeeper from Tasmania?
No. Keep going. The caller from Perth. He's a caller, Triple M caller from Perth. No. Now, you just listen to this request.
This is how bad I'm going, say. This is when you know, when you're not on Nuff. They've looked at that, heard it, and said,
who's Tom Atkinson?
Exactly. They've said, he is not big enough to even put him in the Nuff of the week.
I think we actually had that conversation. I wanted him in, but Will, our producer, said, no, we're not sure who that
Not
is,
big
so
enough.
we can't do it. But
So he wasn't in it?
He wasn't in it, but what I did is it drew my attention to his name, Damo.
Yeah,
so
right.
I thought, Tom Atkinson, let's have a little look at this bloke. So I listened to the next game he did, and, well, he deserves to be in here.
Beacon Trade for exclusive trade benefits and access to a new range of standards of premium switches and sockets. Beacon Trade, let's make right work. That's not the right name for that.
Wow. Having a few issues over there in Perth. And he shouldn't have requested, because now I'm going to be looking out for him. But we're normally over in Perth, we're normally used to, Norm Smith medalists, premiership players, and they've set a high benchmark when it comes to Nuff. Who can forget Embers?
West Coast at the moment are going through unprecedented times.
I just love playing.
That's extraordinary. I've never heard that.
Haven't you heard that, Das?
That is unbelievable.
Play it again. Play it again for Das.
West Coast at the moment are going through unprecedented times.
He's in trouble early and continues it.
Having some sort of meltdown there, Edwards.
Yeah, that was a live cross on live TV.
The Today
too,
Show.
Das. Today Show. So
That is brilliant.
Now, Rhett Bigland's over here.
It's really
Sounds like Morse code. We have played it with it after it. Rhett Bigland's over here. Well, he likes to blame others when things go wrong, and here's an example.
Bob Jane T-Mart's Biggers. Oh, he's gone missing again. He is double dipping.
Going to the bar.
Now, what is he doing down there, Big Fred? He's
sure.
really getting carried away with himself at the moment. Biggers, are you there?
That wasn't my fault. That is the Techo. He's new on the job. Sorry, ads. Sorry, ads. It wasn't my fault at all. I'm professional down here.
We could see him. He just flicked the headphones off, was having a conversation, and BT, you know what he's like, throws to him when he's not ready. So another thing Biggles thinks he is, which he's not, is funny.
They've had some concessions, though, haven't they, over the years? More concessions.
Well, they got him early on, but then...
Hang on. Biggles was
I thought he was about to roll
him off. Give us that one, Biggles.
No, you can't.
More concessions than what?
No, you can't. When a good comedian can't go back over his jokes, so I can't do it.
Yeah, a good one. Yeah, we see, but you can.
What was it?
No, you build it up now.
Now, come on, more concessions then?
More concessions than a conductor on a train, I reckon.
Probably shouldn't have gone with it.
Well
Should
done,
have
Dittmar.
stuck to it. What about Roo just cutting him off right when the zinger was about to pop out of his mouth? Hey, Jack Heverin.
Riverland.
River
Up from the
Yabbies.
Riverland where me and
Yabbies.
my mates would just drink piss.
Off the wood. Yabby's in the front, in the lounge room. Jack Heverin. Well, Ash Chew has been called a lot of names over the past, only 12 months, 18 months, but he's never been called this.
Earlier today, too,
He's called him Toot. Toot. There's been a lot going on, but never Toot. Now, Damo, you do that.
I've warned you about this.
You
Damien,
do this podcast, surfing board or whatever it is, the surfboard, and it's a pre-recorded, obviously, podcast, so you can go back. I think you've coughed and stuffed it up that many times over the past few weeks. I think you need to just maybe revisit whether you could start some things again.
How would you have approached it if you were in his position? Hutch, just a quick snapshot answer there. What, you lost your voice?
You've done that before too. What? Maybe just a drink of water or something. Because who could forget the chief? The chief. Just wanted to play that to bring him in next.
Can I do a Biggles and blame the Teco?
No.
No,
No, you can't do that. That's your fault.
Accept full responsibility.
Yeah, and there is a cough button too if you just need to lean on
I
that every
used
now
it.
and then.
It still came
through.
Oh,
did it? Hey, the chief, well, he's been filling in 360 this week, and, well, he just forgot Jared's name.
I'm Jared Waitner, he's Jason Dunstall. This Tuesday night, Sid's footy from all angles. Hello to you, Jace.
Robbo. I nearly called you Robbo there.
Jared.
He's gone down the Robbo path. Doesn't really look like Robbo, Jared, but Brad Scott
you reckon?
was... well, he looks more like you. Brad Scott was doing a media conference during the week, and, well, when words keep getting, or phrases keep getting said, it just catches my ear, and just listen to the count here for the you-knows.
The 7 and 5 is pleasing, but the reality is whether we were sitting here 6-6, whatever the 2 and 10, it's about we set
That's 8 in 6 seconds. 8 you-knows in 6 seconds, and I don't know what he was trying to say, but it didn't make any sense. But I'm glad he's not sitting in here with me. Hey, Brian. Well, he's always got sort of side deals and side hustles, and he's mentioning different sponsors, but he just made up his own credit for Mitre 10 last week.
Brought to you by Mitre 10. Get in, get out, get on with it at Mitre 10. That's my philosophy when it comes to building shit in the backyard.
Building shit in the backyard. Get in, get out, get on. That's not their credit.
The marketing team at Mitre 10 who sit down and they've got their whole brand portfolio and how do we represent Mitre 10.
Yes.
Get in, get out. That's how I get shit done in the backyard.
Well,
Thank you, Brian.
you wait to Thirsty Camel.
Oh, yeah.
Or 30 Camel, whatever you've
Walk
called
in
it
and buy
lately.
frothies.
Yeah.
Is it Bill?
For seriously good deals, drink responsibly, but it should be just get in there and buy some nice cheap stuff.
Get in, get out, get home so you can drink them, you reckon,
Yeah,
Bill?
exactly.
Hey, but then he had a little bit of trouble trying to say middle.
Port Adelaide trying to come up with it in the middle. Reeves got it out to Newcombe.
He had a few issues last week, actually. Hey, speaking of issues, forgot Dunkley, the Dunkley's old man, Andrew Dunkley, in a roaming Brian. He's had a few issues. I reckon he's in career best at the moment, career worst. Had the F-bomb dropped just 2 weeks ago and had to get out of there quick. But last night, he's done it again. He's just making mistakes everywhere. His first mistake.
And whose wife is this? Sam Pepper's wife. This Sam's wife, isn't it? Sorry, what was your name?
I'm not Sam's wife, but I'll go with it.
Who was Sam's wife? Sorry.
She's just a supporter that wouldn't mind being his wife.
He did get a lot last
I'll work with it.
He didn't get a lot last night, did he?
No, he didn't. And then he asked, well, you can't ask the same question twice either, Bill.
Frankie is watching too.
How old's this one?
14 months.
14 months. Is this the only one?
And then another one on
You've got another one coming. Gee, popping out. Unbelievable. So, what's this one's name?
Frankie.
Frankie. Hello, Frankie. How old's Frankie, by the way?
14 months.
14 months. Well done, Frankie.
20 seconds older than last time.
How good would that have been if he pulled that out? Now, Das, I'm glad you're here today because it's not you. It's not you.
Surely not.
Nath Brown, I need you to have a word to him. He's just, I don't know, he's in speaking career worst.
We had just injected too many things in his head, Bernie, I think, is what's happened.
And he talks too quick.
It's affected his brain.
Certainly. Too close to the brain, those injections. We had Labuschagne nodding off last night in the cricket when he had to go out to bat. But Brownie, he'd already started this trend. He's been doing it for years.
Norton, Aaliyah, been a good contest. Who's in front there, Nate? Aaliyah and Norton as Bergman's run down. Good tackle, McRae.
You with us, Nate?
We'll just crock off again.
You're back on your online shopping, mate. I'm good. I was asking you, mate, Norton or Aaliyah for the third time. Who do you think's winning the contest, mate?
Aaliyah.
Oh, sorry, no. Earth to Nate.
He's buying some shoes.
What's he doing now?
Buying
He's going to
shoes.
sleep.
It gets after 3/4 time, the iPad comes out and he just zones into
Crypto.
Echidnas doing weird things or
Komodo dragons and monkeys.
strange unit.
Hey, it's time for it, Hose.
Nuff of the week.
And there's one man I haven't mentioned so far, and that's Bill Brownless. He wins
no.
it this week. You've had a
I've
pretty
been good.
bad week. No, you
I've
haven't.
been good. No,
Jim's
Jim,
away.
I've been good.
No, Jim's away. It's an opportunity for you to stand up, and you've basically stood down because here's you trying to say. I think you're trying to say adjectives, but it's hard to tell.
Give us your whatever it is. It's a terrible, stupid word. It's like acronouns.
And then you went to acronouns as well. You threw that in just for a bit of icing on top, and then, well, it's not the first time, but you forgot Damo's name.
Good question, Damio.
Damio, I don't know why you put an I in there. And then you went with this. I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
In all seriousness, Jim. Seriousness.
And then you were trying to tell us about Port Adelaide, the amazing run they're on, how many wins they've had in a row. Well, you butcher how many wins and their name.
For 9 in a row at Port Adelaide.
9 Port Adelaide. And then, well, Huey Greenwood was in the quiz. He couldn't quite get the question out.
Which current AFL player retired from the NBL in 2015 to join the Adelaide Crows as a Category B rookie? Terrible word.
Terrible word, is it? Category.
Yes.
Not
Yes,
too bad.
hardest.
I think
Listen to
it's very
you
clear.
practice for an hour before you get on.
Oh, do I? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pressing buttons, not practicing. And then, speaking of geography, we spoke about Basil earlier. You're worldwide. Your global geography is exquisite.
Is it? Volcano went off in Sabiabo.
Can you explain where Sabiabo is,
A
Bill?
little country off the African Ocean.
African ocean.
A coast off an ocean, is it? I thought there'd be a few
It
coasts.
doesn't exist.
And then, but my favourite thing you did this week was a joke where you completely butchered it. Couldn't work out why.
What do you call a piece of crumb chicken doing drive-by shootings? Shitty, bang, bang.
No, it's meant to be snitty.
It's shitty.
Come on, Bill.
That is a very high benchmark, Bill, for Nuff of the week. May not be bettered ever. What up, Bernie?
It will be. It will be.
I enjoy every
Next half hour.
every bit of that.
Probably.